Well, this is an interesting question because the more you become high conscious, the more you embrace the totality of you. So, if I am a man, the more I become conscious, the more I embrace also the female part of me. So the more I am high conscious, I am conscious, the more the female and the male within myself are in balance. The more the female and the male within myself are in balance, the more I'm whole.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, at that time, you don't need any more a relationship because you already have a full relationship with yourself. Because now you are both female and male. Before, the relationship was because one of the party was more male than female and the other party was more female than male. And so, by communing, they would complement each other and they would support each other in their personal journey. However, I suspect that there will come a time when both the individual will have reached such a balance between, internally balance between male and female, that they will not need anymore to interact with the opposite sex, because there will be no more opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no more opposite. They will be just within themselves, they will be so close to oneness that relationship will fade out. And that's what I suspect happened when we start to go to higher dimensions. There is no such a thing as being a couple anymore. There is no such a thing anymore there's no such a thing as sex anymore. These wonderful experiences will be transcended and we will be navigating the journey. At that point might be a non-physical journey or semi-physical journey, with not any more concern about opposite sex, because there will be no such a thing as opposite sex and there will be no sex. We won't need any more the kind of experiences. We will have enough to take us where it was meant us to take, which was a unity field within ourselves. So again, I think once we reach a point where we are internally 100% whole between our female and male part, I don't think there's going to be, I could be wrong because I'm not there just yet, at least not in this lifetime, not in this expression of me. Maybe other expressions of me are there, but in the expression of me right now I'm not there. I still see myself as a man, certainly with quite a female energy, well developed, but still I still enjoy the communion with the opposite sex, because that opposite sex hasn't been developed within myself 100%. So until that doesn't get to 100%, I will still have an interest in communing with someone else that is not, that is in my case a female. So again, high conscious, the higher the consciousness and the less probably we need to commune with the so-called opposite sex, because there will be not anymore opposite sex, there would be just oneness. We would be both simultaneously, equally female and male energy field. So we will have a unity field within ourselves, and so from that unity we might co-create in different ways, but not as me seeking a female energy and you seeking a male energy. That dance probably will eventually dissipate. High conscious couple, what I envision, whether they're a couple or not, but generally high conscious people, first of all, they do not create any suffering to anybody whatsoever. Because the love that they carry within themselves is so mature, is so evolved that they feel love for everything. And so when you feel love for everything, it's not possible that you harm anybody or you make people suffer. There are people that can choose to suffer despite the fact that someone loves them, and that's fine. So the high conscious people will recognize that that person is important, that she experienced suffering, and it will be allowed unconditionally. The high conscious people are just people that are completely loving life and everything that exists. They transcended any kind of idea of separation, so they feel oneness. They are still if they are still in a 3D world where there is polarity, they are set in a situation of neutrality. So they recognize that the polarity is just an illusion, and that left and right and wrongness, tall and short, up and down, all those ideas of polarity are just an agreement to be playful in a very specific way, so they will be not emotionally charged about it. So they will recognize in whatever darkness or whatever light comes their way, they will recognize that it's just energy. And they will unconditionally love darkness and light. And by being neutral, in a way they will dissipate the polarity. So when you find yourself in front of an individual of that caliber, you will have no other choice but to be impacted by it. And it will trigger in you quite rapidly the process of remembering. So in that case, either you will not be ready for that and you will feel fear and you will go away, or you will fully embrace such an incredible love, and it will transform you. I have experienced that kind of love many times in my life, particularly when I am creating music and when I also express myself in other different creative ways. because the only way I can create is by connecting with oneness. It seems that the energy fields that come from unity and oneness is, for me, my perception, an incredible font of inspiration, and a really trigger in me all kind of creative expressions with the pure intent to convey that sense of oneness to the people or the situation that is around, is right next to me, is surrounding me at that moment. That's the only reason why I create. There is no other reasons. I create music, or I create images with my camera, or I indulge in whatever creative endeavor I choose. The only reason why I do that is to share the sense of oneness that I gain in the moment of creation, because it's so overwhelmingly, divinely precious that I want everybody to feel that. Then I, of course, like everybody else, I experience moment of unconsciousness. Sometimes, many times, sometimes I'm connected, sometimes I'm disconnected. And when I am in the consciousness, meaning I feel separation between me and whatever exists, then life becomes more difficult, becomes more heavy. In this lifetime, I have been, let's say, lucky not to ever get to a degree of separation that allowed me to feel emotions like hatred or deep anger with anybody. I never really experienced that, or envy. These are kind of emotional that I'm not familiar with. I can imagine how I felt like, but I never felt. But it must be a terrible and really horrible experience. But I had experienced enough unconsciousness to recognize the downfall but the experience, and to make it a valuable experience, because sometimes you need to experience what you don't want in order to understand more what you want. So we are in this physical experience to recognize and remember who we are through contrast, through the experience of separation sometimes, and most of the time, for some people all the time. So I think it's a fascinating experience, whether you are conscious or unconscious.
Have you ever experienced oneness in lovemaking?
Yes, it is. I do have experienced that, and it is a never-ending experience. Meaning, it never. We never get to the point. Okay, I reached the peak. There is always more to experience in the lovemaking, to feel more united with your lover and with everything that exists, and there is always more to dare into and to let go at, and to become. So the art of lovemaking, like also the art of creating or the art of living, they are, in my perception, they are processes that never end. They can always expand more, and that makes the whole journey fascinating and beautiful.
Is expanding then in a way the same as transformation? Or
Yes, Of course, spending means you shift to a higher level of appreciation.